You're watching the MAC on ESPN+. It's Family Weekend in Athens, and fans are starting to trickle into Peden Stadium for this Week 4 matchup between Gardner-Webb and Ohio. The Bobcats open up the year playing 3 consecutive Power 4 opponents, one of the most difficult schedules in the country. But now they shift from underdog to favorite, welcoming in the Running Bulldogs on this Saturday afternoon. Kelsey Casper alongside Ryan Cavanaugh here in Athens. And Ryan, there were a lot of positives to draw from those first 3 games for head coach Brian Smith. He said the Bobcats, they were competitive in each one of them. However, coming into this week, he's reminding their guys, they're still a 1-2 team that need to win this afternoon.
Yeah, there's a lot of feelings that this could be a trap game for Ohio University taking on Gardner-Webb because they fared so well in those first 3 games. However, Coach Smith wants to keep them grounded, and he realizes in their last non-conference game before entering MAC play, they have an opportunity to send a statement to the rest of the conference about who the Bobcats really are.
Well, accountability and execution are the focus for Brian Smith in his first full season as head coach in Athens, previously offensive coordinator and running back coach. So he knows if he wants to get his offense moving early, it's going to be with his 5th year running back in C.A. Bangura.
Well, he knows Bangura very well. Not only did he recruit him to Ohio many moons ago, but he also helped coach Bangura to being the freshman of the year in the MAC. Last year, Bangura was at Minnesota. He's happy to be home, and I look for them to get him the ball early and run behind a talented offensive line to establish their run game.
And on the other side, for Chris Reisert's Running Bulldogs, excited to see the hands of wide receiver Anthony Lowe and the connection with his QB in Nate Hampton.
Anthony Lowe is a dynamic receiver. We'll see him out of the slot. He's the leading receiver for the Running Bulldogs. But Chris Reisert this week told us that they need to make an impact on special teams. And Lowe will not only be returning kicks, but also punts. And I look for Anthony Lowe to be a dynamic and a real playmaker. And that's going to be a key for Gardner-Webb to pull off the upset this afternoon.
Yeah, that's what head coach Chris Reisert told us. He wants to see big returns on special teams, generate some big plays, and take care of the football. Well, we'll get a closer look at Anthony Lowe as he is back to receive the opening kick, as Ohio will kick things off, and Gardner-Webb will be able to take offense here first in Athens, Ohio. David Dellenbach back to kick things off. Lowe will let this one go into the end zone. And we get our first look at the Running Bulldogs and their quarterback in Nate Hampton, the 6'6" graduate out of Advance, North Carolina. He can do it with his arms. He could do it with his legs as well. Ryan, on the season, he has over 500 yards in the air and over 150 rushing on the ground.
What I really like about Hampton is that he takes care of the football. 5 passing touchdowns, 0 interceptions. And as you said, the key for the Bobcats defensively is to keep an eye on whether Hampton's going to run or throw. And even on passing downs, contain him, keep him in the pocket because he's a threat at any time to pull the ball down and take off.
And he's got his running back, Quayshawn Holmes, next to him. Fakes the handoff. Got a little time, but he's pressured out of the pocket on the first play and taken out of bounds by Michael Molnar at the line of scrimmage. No gain for Gardner-Webb.
Molnar started the season at inside linebacker along with Jack Freeze. Freeze is injured. He will not be playing, and Molnar is picking up a lot of that slack. He's a dynamic defensive player, and right there you can see that he has the ability to play sideline to sideline.
And this is a Ohio defense that had a lot of questions coming into the year as that pass goes over the head of the intended target, Cole Schneider, nearly picked off by Tank Pearson. But like I was saying, this defense had a lot of questions. They had to start building from the ground up. A lot of transfers and newcomers for defensive coordinator John Hauser, and they've really proved themselves in the first 3 games. So I'll bring up 3rd and 10. Bobcat defense looking to get off the field here early. Hampton, pressured, is going to get about 6 on the play, but still short of the first down. So on the opening drive, Ohio defense forcing a 3 and out.
It's a beautiful job of Cameron Hullabaugh, the linebacker in place of Jack Freeze, just staying home. And it's what we just talked about, Kelsey. they have to be aware of Nate Hampton breaking the pocket and taking off. And that time, Holaball was spying on him, and as soon as Hampton took off, Holaball was there to take him down short of the chains, and the punt unit is on.
Here's senior Brady Braun. In to punt it back for Max Rodarte. And the fake punt! Only Rodarte is back. He's gonna get the tackle at about the 35-yard line, but how about that? Gardner Webb pulling out the fake punt.
In a game like this, you have to pull out all the stops, and I believe this is Jackson Marshall who accepts it as the personal protector, and look at the speed of Marshall up the sidelines. Gardner Webb going deep into the bag of tricks, taking advantage of Ohio early, their over-aggressiveness. And how about the linebacker Jackson Marshall making an impact on special teams?
Well, head coach Chris Reiser told us they were going to be aggressive. They got a bye week next week, and so he's bringing out the big plays early. And here's a big run from Quayshawn Holmes, still on his feet, and gets the first down.
Gardner Webb's riding the momentum from the fake punt, coming back, getting right on the ball, running the ball up the middle, and Quayshawn Holmes with a chunk play, moving the chains, 1st and 10 inside the red zone for the running Bulldogs.
Hampton across the middle, and it's picked off. Intercepted by Michael Mack II. And just like that, momentum shifting to Ohio.
It looked like this ball may have been tipped at the line of scrimmage. It was very much overthrown over his receiver. Hampton's trying to get it into the slot, and it is tipped, and you see the ball is misdirected, and Michael Mack making a break on his receiver. The ball comes right to him, and he earns his 2nd interception of this young season.
A fake punt and an interception in the first about 2.5 minutes. Well, now we get to see this Ohio offense in the first quarter. Parker Navarro hands it off to his running back, C.A. Bangura, who we talked about in the open.
Kahari Haynes, linebacker, does a great job of coming in, getting inside the blockers, and shutting down Bangura before he gets started. That's a tackle for loss. Gardner Webb has come out fired up.
Again on the ground, and Bangura stopped at the line of scrimmage and brought down by a pile of Bulldogs.
Well, it starts with Andre Crowley. There he is, big number 98. Take a look at Crowley just plugging up 2 holes in the middle. They're trying to get Bangura going, as we just talked about. And now I believe it's a passing down. We might see this guy, Parker Navarro, put the ball in the air. One of the best quarterbacks in the MAC.
Over 500 yards in the air for Parker Navarro. And here's 3rd and 8. Flush to the outside and throws behind his intended target, Bangura. 4th down.
They brought Bangura across in motion. They had Jake Bruno, the tight end rather, blocking in front of him. And we've seen both quarterbacks, Parker Navarro and Hampton, Nate Hampton, both of them on their first throws, a little jumpy, a little tense, throwing it a lot harder than it needed to be thrown. Bangura had no chance of catching that football.
So the Gardner Webb defense forces Ohio to punt. Magnus Haynes back at the goal line to punt this one away. Anthony Lowe fields it just shy of the 30. He's still on his feet past the 40. Chris Reiser said he's one of the best return men in the country, and he's still going. Finally knocked out of bounds at about the 36-yard line. And the running Bulldogs have great field position once again. So we've already seen a fake punt, an interception, a great return, but we are still scoreless here in Athens. What a start for Chris Reisert and his running Bulldogs. They have the ball at the 37-yard line after a 31-yard punt return from their guy, Anthony Lowe, to put them in great field position here in the first.
Anthony Lowe's making me look good. I just talked about the impact that he's going to make in this game. And that was about a 25, 30-yard return, but it was a video game exciting.
Lots of excitement early. Gardner Webb already pulling out the fake punt, but then Nate Hampton throwing his first interception of the season. He connects with Lowe here at the 35-yard line, where he's brought down for a gain of 3. Michael Molnar into the tackle. Anthony Lowe, D2 All-American, came with Reisert from Tiffin. Here's Holmes on the ground, falls for a short gain.
Another tackle by Michael Molnar. An absolute tackling machine. Came in with 20 tackles. Again, he's just a throwback linebacker. Take a look at him, bandaged up. By the end of the season, he's not going to have a whole lot of paint on the front of his helmet. He's that type of player.
3rd and 5 here for Gardner Webb. They go to Holmes again, who's just shy of the first down marker. Adonis Williams Jr. in on the tackle. He's been great to start the season for this Ohio defense.
Kelsey, with that play call on 3rd and 5 tells me is it's 4-down territory. So you're running that on 3rd and 5, knowing that you're going to go for it on 4th. The 4th and a long 2, and Reisert's going to be calling a perhaps. So anytime you see the head coach jogging down, he's probably calling a timeout.
He doesn't here. Hampton takes it himself, and he's got the first down past the 25-yard line.
Nate Hampton can run, but also he's 6'6", 240. Coach Reisert told us this week he loves running his quarterback, not only because he's good at doing so, but it allows the extra blocker to go hat on hat. And when you need 2 yards, give it to the big fella, and he gets it for him.
Well, Hampton had one of his best games of his career in week 1 against Western Carolina. Short pass, right over the middle to Lowe. We're at a gain of 2 on the play. In that game against Western Carolina, it was the largest comeback in program history. Nate Hampton threw for 263 yards with 2 passing touchdowns. He then also ran for 130 yards and 4 rushing touchdowns. That's 6 total touchdowns from the quarterback.
Yeah, that sounds like a career for me. That's impressive work in one game. They were down 35-7 at halftime in that game.
Exciting way to start the season for this Gardner Webb team. Connects with Chris Lofton. That'll bring up 3rd down.
It's tackled by Tank Pearson coming up on Lofton. This is a difficult tackle. I think the most difficult thing in all of football is open field tackling, but Pearson identifies it, reacts right away, and is able to bring Lofton down. Now we're looking at, is this 4-down territory again with 3rd and 6? If it is, Reisert has the opportunity to run the ball. For Hampton, he's got to take care of the football. You don't want to throw a pick down here again in the red zone.
Hampton using his feet. Gets a good gain. Just shy of the 15-yard line. And again, another 4th down.
Well, it's 4th and 2. And as I can look across at the running Bulldog sidelines, and that guy right there, Chris Reisert, and the offense is staying on the field. They're coming here to win. They're not looking for 3s, they're looking for 7s.
Seeing that aggressiveness early here in Athens. Second time this drive. Gardner Webb is going for it on 4th down. They got 5 receivers lined up. Hampton across to Lowe. He's able to hang on to it. Anthony Lowe with a big first down at the 12-yard line.
This is a beautiful catch, and the matchup they wanted. They've got linebacker Cameron Hollabaugh. I'm sorry, it's Molnar covering Lowe in the slot. Lowe does a great job of keeping his eyes on the football. Great hand position. A very difficult catch. He makes it, and it's 1st and goal for the running Bulldogs.
They are cruising downfield on this drive. Holmes next to Hampton. Schneider in motion. Holmes taking it to the outside. leaping over a man. Did he get in? He did! A touchdown, Gardner Webb. Second touchdown of the year for Quayshawn Holmes. And the running Bulldogs are on the board first here in Athens.
Great blocking at the point of attack here. Holmes steps out of a tackle and watch him go airborne. Dangerous, and the left hand reaches with the ball inside the pylon. Nothing to look at. Touchdown, Quayshawn Holmes.
He got his hand back in there just in front of the pylon. So here's Charlie Villarreal in to kick the extra point. And it's good. 7-0, the Gardner Webb early lead in Athens. Quayshawn Holmes finding the end zone for his second score of the year. Gardner Webb with an early 7-0 lead, and comebacks and upsets. There's a big one here 2 weeks ago. Here's C.A. Bangura with the 1-yard run to put Ohio up 10-7 over West Virginia, and the big 31-yard catch for a touchdown from Chase Hendricks. And then in the fourth quarter, last chance for West Virginia. Anas Lukman gets the sack, and Ohio beats West Virginia 17-10 in a sold-out matchup here at Peden Stadium. And we talked about this at the top of the broadcast. The first 3 weeks against Power 4 opponents, it was a close one against Rutgers. They beat West Virginia at home, and then they had to face the #1 team in the country in Ohio State, and that score not indicative of how competitive that matchup really was. And here's a big return. Iman Dennis past the 50 into Gardner Webb territory, and he is finally brought out of bounds at the 40-yard line.
Beautiful blocking by the kick return team, and this is a guy, Iman Dennis, who can really scoop. We talked about Anthony Lowe for Gardner Webb. This is a great job by this kick return team on blocking, and Dennis has one man to beat, just tripped up. Just like that, Ohio has responded, and I feel like these are two heavyweights throwing haymakers at each other, and both of them taking punches and responding in kind.
Let's see if Ohio can respond here. Navarro over the middle, and the pass is dropped by his go-to target, Chase Hendricks.
A little bit behind him, Parker Navarro. You've seen 2 passes from Navarro, and it appears as if he has yet to settle in to the quarterback position. When he does, watch out, because he can impact the game in so many different ways from the quarterback position.
Well, Parker Navarro missed a few tries against Ohio State last week. He hurt his non-throwing hand, his thumb, but he is back and starting this game. He's pressured here, pulled back into Ohio territory on the run. This time, Hendricks able to pull this one down and knocked off his helmet.
Numerous Bulldogs had an opportunity to grab Parker Navarro, and as I just said, he can impact the game in so many ways. He's got a little Johnny Manziel swagger, where not only can he get away from people, but he can innovate and throw well on the run, and you see the helmet getting knocked off. Hendricks will have to come out. Credit to him to hang on to that football.
Well, that's what Brian Smith was telling us. We know he can throw, we know he can run, but one of his specialties is he can throw on the run. So here's 1st and 10. Bangura. He's got a 1st down. Ohio in the red zone.
Nice work by the right side of the offensive line. And then Bangura with the individual effort carrying defenders for extra yardage. See Cam Wright, the right guard, playing for Trent Allen, the typical starter who's been out a little bit.
Hendricks also back in after missing the last snap. They'll go again to Bangura on the ground for the short gain. Jackson Marshall in on the tackle. He had the fake punt return earlier in this quarter.
You think we'll see him on offense? Like all 3 phases,
Yeah.
Special teams, linebacker on defense, maybe put him in at fullback on offense, get him the football?
Second and 9. Navarro drops back, uses his feet, but he is brought down. Robert Holtz with a nice tackle. 3rd and long.
Coach Chris Reisert calls Holtz consistent. One of the leaders of this defense coming off the end. He's on one side, Antonio Berry's on the other. They can wreak havoc for an offense. Good athleticism shown by Rob Holtz.
We'll see what the Bobcats can do. 3rd and 11, ball on the 14. Blitz, passes it off to Rodarte. His 1st reception. And he loses a few yards on the play.
And Andre Crawley Jr. makes the tackle but loses his helmet. We've seen 2 lost helmets on this drive alone. But that big fella, 6'1", 290, has been playing very well on the interior of this Bulldogs defense.
So Ohio will kick the field goal here. Here's Brack Peacock. Now from 31 yards. It is up and it is good. So the Bobcats are on the board, but Gardner Webb with a 7-3 lead. At 3:24 left to go in the 1st. Well, next Saturday, ESPN Plus has more games from the MAC. At 1 p.m., it's Eastern Michigan at Central Michigan. And tune in at 3:30 Eastern. UConn at Buffalo, San Diego State at Northern Illinois, Akron at Toledo, and Lindenwood at Miami, Ohio. And at 6:30 with Rhode Island at Western Michigan. If you're a MAC fan, go to ESPNplus.com to sign up. Under 4 minutes to go here in Athens, Ohio. It's Gardner-Webb with a 7-3 lead over Ohio. Ryan, what are your early impressions of this Gardner-Webb team coming in here with a strong start?
Well, they're adopting the personality of their head coach, going for it on a fake punt on the first drive. We're going to have a touchback here. But offensively, they went for it twice on 4th down. And then on defense, getting the stops when they needed to. Chris Reichert, it's very clear that he came here and he's going to pull out all the stops. When we talked to him this week, he understands that he's playing a team that could beat virtually any team in the country. And Gardner-Webb being an FCS team, coming up to play an FBS team, one of the best in the MAC, who already knocked off West Virginia, he knew it was going to be a heavy lift. But when you play without fear, it gives you an opportunity to pull off an upset, and that's exactly what Reichert and his running Bulldogs are doing right now.
And here's another look at Nate Hampton. Across the middle of the field, he's got a guy there. First down catch for Anthony Lowe. And you mentioned Chris Reichert. Well, let's throw it back to his playing days, the former quarterback at Ohio Dominican.
Started for 4 years. You see the NAIA Player of the Year. He's in their Hall of Fame. Has virtually every passing record at Ohio Dominican, not far from here. He's from Cincinnati. He's Ohio through and through. So coaching here against the Bobcats means a lot to him for a lot of different reasons.
First carry for Carson Griesick, who takes it right to the 50-yard line for another, actually just short of the first down. Marking him down at about the 47, so it's 2nd and 1. Anthony Lowe in motion. They go to Griesick again, and this time he's got the first down into Ohio territory.
Griesick is one of the 5 players that came over from Tiffin with Coach Reichert, where he was 2 years ago. And Quayshawn Holmes, the starting running back, and Griesick push each other. They bring the competitive nature out of each other and make each other better.
1st and 10. Hampton, short pass, connects with Jabri Bevino. Well, you mentioned it, a lot of Ohio influence on this Gardner-Webb team. Here are the 5 players that transferred from Tiffin and followed their head coach, Chris Reichert, who we talked about his playing career at Ohio Dominican, grew up in Ohio, has coached in Ohio. 10 players on this Gardner-Webb roster in Ohio. So a lot of family coming into town, a lot of players maybe playing in front of their family for the first time in their college career here in Athens. And Griesick is making a game of it. Switches directions, and he's gonna go all the way into the end zone. 2nd touchdown of the day for the running Bulldogs.
Take a look at the blocking on the left side of the line here. Griesick allows his eyes to dictate where his feet go, steps out of a tackle. You just said it, Kelsey. Look at the change of direction. Gets the Bobcats to turn their back, and Griesick into the end zone. Gardner-Webb about to go up 14-3 if this kick is true.
And they do. 14-3. It's Griesick's first touchdown of the season. He had 10 of them last year to lead this Gardner-Webb team. But what a run.
Beautiful job by of the wide receivers, the tight end, as well as the left side of the offensive line blocking. You have Elvin Fafana, the tight end, who makes a big block, and Griesick just continues to bounce and bounce and gets into the open field. Nothing real fancy about that, body on body, but very effective. Look at that scoring drive and the numbers.
Efficient as well.
Oh my goodness, yeah, they are looking really good right now.
That was a 48-yard run from the redshirt junior.
You mentioned Quayshawn Holmes and Griesick. pushing each other, not only in practice, but now they're doing it in the game. And now, if you're Griesbach, you come to the bench and you say, okay, Quayshawn, your turn. You scored first, I went second. Let's keep this going on the ground for the running Bulldogs.
Minute 20 left in this first quarter. They go for the short kick here. And it is caught at about the 37-yard line by Mason Williams, the tight end.
Going for a pooch kick, so either they thought they identified something on film where they thought they might be able to get that ball to hit the turf and have their kicking team cover it, or they don't want to kick it deep. And they say, hey, look, we'll give you good field position as long as you don't get a huge return against us, which they already saw from Iman Dennis after their last touchdown.
So Parker Navarro in this Ohio Bobcat offense trying to get their team back into this game. This is a Gardner-Webb defense that gives up on average 39 points a game. Pass over the middle, somehow caught by Hendricks. That's a first down.
Everything about this play is great. The coverage is good, the ball from Navarro is good, and the catch from Hendricks is spectacular. Being able to bring that in. Credit Josiah Harris on the coverage.
Navarro with some time decides to take it himself. Ends up getting a short gain for it. Almost got tackled behind the line of scrimmage. That'll bring up second down.
Defensive end Trey Weems coming across to finally bring Navarro to the ground, but that's a little bit of what Parker Navarro brings to an offense, the ability to innovate and create. If you're a defense, you got to keep running after him, and Weems did it that time.
Navarro on the ground. We're getting a look at Duncan Brune. Able to stay on his feet and push the pile just about a yard short of the first down marker to bring up 3rd and 1.
Brune's a sophomore from Cologne, Germany.
They get the snap off. Brune again on the ground. And he gets the first down as the first quarter comes to an end. Well, what a start for Gardner-Webb, coming into Athens and taking a 14-3 lead over the Ohio Bobcats. Well, it was an entertaining first quarter here in Athens. Kelsey Casper and Ryan Kavanaugh with you. But Ohio now trailing Gardner-Webb 14-3. They have the ball on their own 33-yard line. Ryan, what more do you want to see from Ohio here in the second quarter?
Well, offensively, it's a little bit what they just started at the end, which is some offensive consistency and finding a rhythm. The first couple drives they have, I think that was missing, but they're starting to put it together now and they're settling in.
Duncan Brune lined up behind Parker Navarro. Hendricks in motion. Navarro got hit, but still has a man open. Duncan Brune downfield and taken down inside the 5, marking him at the 1.
One of the most difficult things to do as a quarterback is hang in the pocket and throw the football when you know you're about to get hit in the mouth. Parker Navarro did that. Excellent pass to Brune.
And they're moving quick here from the 1-yard line. Brune swallowed up by the defense, and he's short of the goal line.
This is just play fake to Brune. He boots left, 2 men in his face, and he wants to throw it back to the wideout. And take a look at that. You're standing in the pocket. You can't finish the throw because there's a 290-pound lineman hugging you, but he gets just enough on it for Brune to catch it and get down to where they are right now, knocking on the door.
Second and goal.
Oh, and they got
Flags
center.
and flying.
I think they're going to get Marinaro.
Number 55, 9. 5-yard penalty, remains second down.
That's Nick Marinaro, the center. Done a really nice job in the center of this offensive line.
Well, instead of the ball in the 1, it's now pushed back to the 6-yard line. Duncan Brune on the carry. Gets it almost right back to where they started. Third down.
Johnson making the stop. Third and goal, Ohio.
So big opportunity for the Gardner-Webb defense. Ohio looking to find the end zone for the first time this afternoon. They'll go to Brune again on the ground, and this time he's in. Touchdown, Bobcats. First one of the season for the sophomore from Germany.
Gardner-Webb came out base defense for this goal line. We just talked about Marinaro, and there he is, 59, with a great block on linebacker Jackson Marshall, giving Brune just enough of a crease to run behind his shoulder pads, get into the end zone.
Here's Peacock in for the PAT. And it's no good. So this is where the score will stay, 14-9 after the missed extra point, but it's Duncan Brune able to run it in for the score. Ohio, though, still trailing by 5. Good start to the second quarter for the Ohio Bobcats as Duncan Brune had the 2-yard carry for their first score of the game. And speaking of Duncan Brune, we mentioned he's from Germany, but this is his mother, an Olympian. And there's not just one Olympic mother on this team, there's two. Backup quarterback Nick Polis, his mom Michelle Granger, an Olympic gold medalist for Team USA in softball. Brune's mother, a swimmer. So some good genes on this Ohio Bobcats team. Two moms, Olympians. How cool is that?
I don't know a single mom that was an Olympian. They've got two of them at the tailgate for the game.
Yeah.
Good genes.
And Duncan Brune getting his first touchdown of the year. They missed the extra point, so it's a 14-9 lead for Gardner Webb. And here's another return for Anthony Lowe. He had a big one earlier. This time gets stopped just past the 20. Well, it's already been a pretty active game. Gardner Webb, 3 rushes for 99 yards. Ohio's had 2 passes for 50 yards. We've seen a fake punt, we've seen an interception, we've seen some good returns. I missed an extra point.
Fake punt. One of those. Is it Halloween? Is there a full moon? What are we working with here, Kelsey?
Let's see if Gardner Webb has any more tricks up their sleeve. Looks like they do, because that was Lowe who just took the snap. Nearly gets the first down on the carry.
I was about to say, right after you said that, I said, well, we're going to see something different here because Nate Hampton is not in the backfield. And you see he fakes the pitch to Nate Hampton, which undoubtedly they can come back to this formation later, pitch it to Hampton and have him throw it downfield. Because whenever that young man, Anthony Lowe, has the football, he's going to have a lot of defensive eyes on him.
They give it to Quayshawn Holmes. He gets a few yards on the play, but that will bring up 3rd down.
It's a really good job by number 97, Austin Mitchell. Sophomore from Avon, Ohio. Being able to get underneath the blocker and trip up Quayshawn Holmes.
Gardner Webb has not been able to convert on a 3rd down today, but they were a perfect 3 for 3 on 4th down. They've been aggressive all afternoon.
Look at this formation. 2 running backs to the side. They're going to send one in motion. Oh.
And it looks like a bad snap. Gardner Webb, I think, recovered.
What they tried to do when they brought him in motion was snap it to him. Very unconventional. Or maybe Moyer didn't get out of the way in time. Hit him right in the breadbasket. Hampton looked like he was ready to catch the football. Sometimes when you get, I don't want to say too cute, but when you get a little exotic with your offense and gadget plays, those things can happen.
So that'll bring up 4th and 5, and they will bring out Brady Braun to punt. He came out on the first possession, but that's when they faked it to Jackson Marshall. We get to see the leg of Braun for the first time. Great punt inside the 15-yard line. Here's Rodarte. He is dropped down at the 30. So good start for Ohio in the second quarter. They're back on offense when we come back.
John Cena, Brock Lesnar. The world will be watching. Stream WrestlePalooza on the ESPN app tonight.
Beautiful day here in Athens, Ohio. Tons of fans out on the hill here at Pioneer Stadium. We were talking before the game, and the coaches were talking with us as well. Joe Burrow, when he was a kid, was out there throwing passes on the hill.
Yep.
How cool is that?
Yeah, it's just, you think about, Joe Burrow and being right there.
Navarro on the run. Taken down at about the 36.
Yeah, speaking of Joe Burrow and good quarterbacks, Parker Navarro. We talked to Coach Izzy, the offensive coordinator, this week. We asked him who he compares him to modern day. Well, he went a little deep. He went Fran Tarkenton and then gave Johnny Manziel a shout out. Parker Navarro has that ability, create.
Hits it to Bangura. He pushes his way to a first down.
This is just a bit of a rugby scrum. Look at Bangura getting behind this big offensive line, and then the offensive line gets behind him and carries, pushes him. I hope Bangura is not claustrophobic, because that's an uncomfortable spot to be in if he is.
First and 10, ball in the 42. Navarro drops back. Hendricks is open. His main target, Chase Hendricks, with another first down for the Bobcats.
One of the skills Coach Brian Smith spoke to this week that Parker Navarro did really good in week 1 against Rutgers, and he wanted to be a focus in this game, is getting the football out quickly. That's exactly what happened there. He identified that the receiver would be breaking open, through the ball to where the receiver was going. Beautiful pass and catch.
Hendricks coming off that game at Ohio State with 67 receiving yards. And there's another complete pass. This time to Rodney Harris II, his first catch of the afternoon.
We talked about Coach Izzy and Bangura. Watch number 5. Watch this blitz pickup by Bangura. It's one of the areas that he has improved greatly on this season. And when you give your quarterback that amount of time by picking up the blitzer, he can do what he just did, which is drive the ball downfield to an open receiver.
Navarro looking a lot more comfortable on this drive. We'll see his arm again. He'll take a shot at the end zone to Harris, but falls incomplete. It was Q Billingsley in coverage for the Bulldogs.
You can't do it much better than Q Billingsley did right there. Perfect position, pushing the wide receiver out of bounds, and I think he had a chance to intercept that football. When you're playing corner, number 1, don't let the other guy get the ball. Number 2, try to get it yourself. Billingsley, great technique.
Second and 10 on the Gardner-Webb 20. Navarro fakes the pass, takes it himself up the middle, and he's inside the 15.
Well-designed and executed play by the Bobcats. This was a quarterback draw all the way, and you're going to watch the offensive linemen influence the inside. See, they take inside shoulder and let all the rushers go to the outside, which opens up the running lane for Parker Navarro.
Last season, Navarro led the highest scoring offense in the MAC. He's been efficient on this drive so far. First and goal, Bobcats. Bangura on the carry. Touchdown, Ohio. And just like that, the Bobcats back out in front.
As a former quarterback, I realize offensive linemen don't get stats for touchdowns like this, but this is as good as it gets. You see Davion Weatherspoon, the left guard, getting his body in position, and we're going to end up, the Bobcats are lined up to go for 2 because of the missed extra point.
Hendricks in motion. Navarro scrambles, but he's got a man there. His tight end, Mason Williams. And the two-point conversion is good.
Media timeout.
So the Bobcats with their first lead of the game. Touchdown from Bangura. Two-point conversion, Williams. 17-14. Ohio lead. And for the first time this afternoon, Ohio with the lead over Gardner-Webb at 17-14. C.A. Bangura, 8-yard touchdown run and the successful two-point conversion. It's the Bobcats, a 3-point lead with under 8 to go in this second quarter. David Dellenbach taking care of the kickoff duties for Ohio. Anthony Lowe set to return. Lowe will call for the fair catch at the 11-yard line. But let's go ahead and take another look at that two-point conversion. It was caught by Mason Williams, Ryan.
Williams is lined up off the line to the right, and you're going to see play action to the right. You'll watch all the white jerseys in the end zone going to their left. Mason Williams goes the other way, and it's wide open. Look at all the action going that way, and everybody's confused except Navarro and Williams. Again, great design and execution for the Bobcats.
Ohio has scored 14 points in this second quarter. Two great drives. Now how can the Bulldogs respond? Here's Holmes on the carry with Adonis Williams Jr. in for the tackle.
Williams has been a monster. They call him Cyborg because he looks and plays like a machine. Transfer from the Naval Academy. And Williams is so good coming up and run support.
Williams, one of the two captains on this Bobcat defense. Hampton drops back, takes it himself out past the 30-yard line. That'll bring up third down.
Another tackle from Michael Molnar.
This Gardner-Webb offense has cooled off a little bit. since that first quarter, where they scored 14 points. Here's 3rd and 3. Hampton pressured, out to Holmes. Escapes a tackle and another. Holmes out past the 40. He dodged, I think, 4 tackles to take that one all the way back to the end zone for the Bulldogs score. Well, Ryan, I said this offense cooled off. They haven't cooled off just yet.
Well, DJ Walker has an opportunity. I talked about tackling in the open field, but this is a tremendous individual effort. There's number 3. Kelsey, you were correct. Number 4, Quayshawn Holmes running away with it. 2nd touchdown of the afternoon for Holmes.
Second touchdown of the year for Quayshawn Holmes. And that Ohio lead didn't last for long. Let's take another look.
Hampton holds onto the ball just long enough. But what a talent Quayshawn Holmes is. Shown a little bit of everything here. The strength, the footwork, breaking tackles, and putting the jets on. There's some great field awareness in there also. Figure out how to zig and zag and create separation. Nate Hampton, you know why he's celebrating so hard, Kelsey, is that is a lot of passing yards and a passing touchdown, and he threw the ball virtually behind the line of scrimmage. And I could tell you as a quarterback, there's nothing better than you throw it 1 yard and you get credited for 65.
Well, 68.
68,
actually.
I'm sorry, he's gonna be mad at me.
Yeah, 1 yard pass for a 68-yard touchdown score. It's 21-17 Gardner Webb. And Chris Reiser must be happy with the way his team came in on the road against an FBS opponent, and they're showing out.
Yeah, he's another former quarterback that loves those stats. Chris Reiser, one of the best to do it back when he was at ODU, Ohio Dominican. Interesting this afternoon, you know, he used to coach at Tiffin, and his alma mater, ODU, played Tiffin today, and Ohio Dominican knocked him off 20-14. So I don't know if he was watching that pregame, following it, but he has a lot of ties to that game.
That's the fair catch of the first and 10 Ohio, early 25 yards.
Fair catch for Ohio. We'll look to respond with 6:30 left in this game. For Gardner Webb, they needed to generate big plays. We've seen that so far.
Yeah, those what teams call chunk plays or explosives. Coach Reiser knew those were going to be important if they were going to come in here and shock the Bobcats. So far, his team has delivered.
But for Ohio, the focus was on us. Accountability and execution. They've been able to execute so far in this second quarter. And they get a good run from Bangura here.
I think Max Rodarte is down. He was blocking on the outside and took a bit of a leg whip.
2nd and 5 Ohio.
Now the whole training staff around looking at his left ankle. Now the whole team out in the field. The seniors, this Ohio team, coming into this game had 6 receptions for 87 yards, had a great season last year for the Bobcats.
He's a return man as well, so obviously too early to tell, but when you lose, you know, it's virtually like losing 2 starters when your return man and a receiver get injured.
Clearly being helped off the field, no weight on that left ankle. So the Bobcats down a receiver here with 6:22 left to go in the second quarter. 2nd and 5 on this drive. Navarro out to Hendricks. First down. Takes it to the 39-yard line. Hendricks had back-to-back 100-yard receiving games to start the year. He's been the clear and obvious target for his quarterback, Parker Navarro.
Scored in 2 of their 3 games thus far.
Play action. Navarro airs this one out and overthrows his receiver, Dom Dort. Ohio wanted the flag.
Dort is a track guy. He can absolutely fly, and that's where they want to get him the football. That time, Parker Navarro put too much on the football. You're going to see him get tripped up here at the end. Just the legs are catching each other from the defensive back. That's Josiah Harris. But that ball was too far for Dort to get to.
A young receiver. Ohio looking to get him more reps. Navarro pressured, but Hendricks is over the middle for another first down. Out past the Gardner-Webb 45.
Look at the eyes of Parker Navarro. He goes option 1, option 2, settles in the middle. Nice job by Chase Hendricks getting into the eyesight of Navarro.
Moving quickly here. Navarro again in the air. Hendricks again. Who else? Inside the 20 and into the end zone.
Make that 3 touchdowns against 3 opponents in 4 games for Chase Hendricks. And this is one sample of why the people in Athens are so excited about the potential of Chase Hendricks. Does a nice job getting open and then does it himself. Gets a great block from Rodney Harris, the second on the outside. Hendricks does just enough to get inside the pylon. 3rd touchdown on the season for Chase Hendricks.
And the extra point is good, 24-21. The Ohio lead over Gardner-Webb. Chase Hendricks with 122 yards in this game, making it his 3rd 100-yard receiving game this season. We are just trading scores here in this second quarter. The Bobcats with 21 points in this quarter alone.
And Navarro, what we talked about earlier, getting the football out, because the sooner he gets it out of his hands, the quicker it gets into playmakers' hands. And that's exactly what Chase Hendricks is. Both these quarterbacks are showing out.
And that wraps up the scoring drive. 5 plays, 75 yards. Less than a minute and a half. But on that drive, Max Rodarte appeared to have injured his ankle, and the cart is now coming out.
Yeah, he's
into the tent.
Yeah, I'm sorry, Kelsey. Yeah, Rodarte is in the medical tent, and they stopped play for a second to get the cart over there. Came across the field, and that's what the delay right now is. I think the officials are waiting to see if they're going to take the cart back now or they're going to wait, but not good. Not a good sign for the Bobcats. They've already been hit a little bit by the injury bug. Of course, Jack Freeze, their outstanding linebacker, not able to go today on crutches. Trent Allen, their starting right guard. I don't think we've seen him yet in uniform, but banged up.
Well, Anthony Lowe will let this one go.
All right, everybody, catch your breath. The offense is coming back on the field.
Lots of big, explosive plays, especially here in the second quarter as you get another look. Applause from this Bobcat crowd as Rodarte gets carted off. So let's see if the Running Bulldogs can reclaim the lead. Trailing by 3 here in the second quarter. Nate Hampton still at quarterback. Still have not seen Cole Pennington. Got a quick target to Lowe. Second down.
That's a good point. Cole Pennington, the backup quarterback, and Nate Hampton were in a battle over the offseason. They were uncertain who was going to start all the way up to week 1. And through 3 games, both quarterbacks have played in each of those games. Yet to see Pennington here. And when your quarterback, like Nate Hampton is in this sort of rhythm, you don't want to do anything to change that.
And consistency is what really won the job over. Here's a trick play. Hampton has got a man open. Caught on the far sideline by his tight end, Elvin Fofana. And Chris Reisert has more of those plays in his bag.
It was a handoff into a reverse, into a toss back to the quarterback. There's the handoff, there's the reverse, back to Hampton. Hampton hits Fofana up the sideline. And the big fella with a very athletic catch.
And just like that, the Bulldogs are in Ohio territory. Here's Griesach. He had a touchdown score earlier in this half. Gets hit hard at the 40-yard line by Williams.
Adonis Williams is a versatile player. He'll be back at 12, 15 yards playing free safety, and then he'll be up at the line of scrimmage like he was right there to shut it down after a short gain. Williams and DJ Walker, 2 defensive backs who are going to kind of be the cornerstones of the defense this year with the number of people they lost at the D-line and linebacker.
Here's Bevineau. Short of the line to gain. That'll bring up 3rd down.
Here's Cameron Holabaugh. As mentioned, they lost a lot of their starters in depth at linebacker, whether it was through the portal or, of course, some of the defense went with Coach Albin to Charlotte. But it became apparent to Coach Knowles on the defense when they start plugging in Molnar, Freeze, Holabaugh. He said, with no disrespect to anybody, I don't know if our other linebackers would have played over these guys. That's the level that the linebackers for the Bobcats this year are playing at.
Hampton will take it himself, but he's short, and it's 4th down.
And there's Holabaugh again. The transfer from Walsh Division II school, the Columbus area.
There's Cole Pennington on the sidelines with his helmet on. And it looks like Gardner Webb is going for it on 4th down. They've been perfect today. 3 for 3 on 4th downs. Hampton out of the pocket, flag on the field. Pass is caught by Caleb Borders down the sideline and in for the score. Flag is still on the play. Chance this one might be coming back.
I think they're going to get,
They're definitely getting holding.
holding. Offense, number 77. 10-yard penalty from the previous spot. Repeat, 4th down.
That's going to be on the right tackle, Will Fitzpatrick. And one of the difficulties when you have a running quarterback or a quarterback that will scramble to the pocket is he doesn't know it. So he's in good position here blocking. And when Hampton rolls around him and the defender starts chasing him, he grabs him. And that is, it's easy for the officials to see that because now the defender's running away and Fitzpatrick was hanging onto his jersey.
Well, Ohio still with a 24-21 lead here in the second quarter. under 2 minutes to go here in the first half. Gardner-Webb trailing by 3, but points taken off the board for the Bulldogs after a holding on the offensive lineman, Will Fitzpatrick.
Yeah, it's far left side of your screen. You see Mitchell working on Fitzpatrick, and that hold right there, the right arm fully extended, handful of jersey. And the ref hit him with the flag, and the points are off the board.
That was Jackson Dorr in for the punt. Bulldogs trying to save it, but obviously a frustrating moment here.
Yeah, no, I'll tell you what, Will Fitzpatrick is not a guy I'm gonna try to get upset at me, because that's a big dude. Obviously, these guys are all in on this game. And when that happens and there's mistakes, there's a lot of emotion, high energy, and we're seeing some of that. And now it's time for Will Fitzpatrick and the rest of his offensive unit to get back on the same page. Looks like he's calmed down a little bit. But that's the passion of the game.
We've had an exciting game here in the first half. 24-21. Fakes the handoff to Brune across the middle of field. And that is caught. That was Caleb Gossett able to hang on to that one, but hit hard at about the 30.
Please set the game clock to 1:44. 1:44. Thank
Actually,
you.
I think they're going to rule that one incomplete.
Yeah, credit Josiah Harris with the defense. He had a great break on the ball for a moment. I thought he had a chance to intercept that football, but certainly did enough to not allow Gossett to bring it in.
Navarro again in the air, but this time he's going to have to scramble. Navarro with the first down. And ends up at the 38-yard line.
That's a huge play in the 2-minute offense. Being able to get a big chunk play on 2nd and 10. Clock stops for the chains to move, and the offense is set.
Navarro, the lead rusher on this team. Going for it deep, and it's caught. Dom Dewar with his first reception of the game, and it's a big one. Inside the 25.
Look at Dewar getting up in the air, changing body position, make sure he gets the foot down. Beautiful pass from Parker Navarro. He's feeling it.
Excuse me, inside the 30 at the 28. Navarro with some time. Hendricks was there, but the pass broken up. It's going to be Nigel Lucas on the defensive end.
Great play by Lucas, and credit this offensive line. They're doing a terrific job of giving that guy, Parker Navarro, plenty of time to survey the field. He's making quick decisions with the football also. I know that was incomplete, but it was the right guy at the right time.
Both of these teams now with over 250 yards of offense in this game. But Duncan Brune is falling over after hitting the line.
That was a big-time play by Rob
Timeout.
Holtz.
Ohio. That's the first of the half. This is the 30-second timeout.
And a timeout here called by Ohio. That'll bring up 3rd and 9 with just over a minute left in this first half.
Plenty of time. The real question right now is this 4-down territory? It'd be about a 50-yarder right now. And again, in these situations, you want to be sure, if you're Parker Navarro, that you're taking care of the football.
Navarro 10 of 16 passing today with 204 yards, adding 34 on the ground as well. They have struggled on 3rd down. Navarro with time. Pressured, he escapes, a flag is on the field. Maneuvering back and forth, the ball comes out. Recovered by Ohio inside the 5. Rodney Harris got on it. With multiple flags coming out, we'll have to wait and see on this one.
But Rob Holtz lost his helmet and still tried to make the tackle afterwards.
Number 8 of the defense helmet came off on the previous play, and he participated, which constitutes a personal foul on the defense, number 8. That half a distance will be added to the end of the run. First down.
So when Holtz's helmet comes off, he cannot go back and participate in the play. And here's the helmet comes off, which looked like it could have been illegal hands to the face by the offense. And now watch number 8, Rob Holtz, still go after two-hand touches Navarro. That's where he kind of knew, I'm not supposed to be doing this, but instincts take over.
So 2 big penalties for Gardner Webb in the second half of the second quarter. Now it's 1st and goal. Ball on the 1. Ohio trying to extend their lead before halftime. Bangura, he's in. No, they're marking him short.
Look at the surprise on C.A. Bangura's face. With 2 timeouts in their holster, they're going to get on the line, run it. They're going to take a look at it.
Ruling in the previous play is the runner was short of the goal line. Plays under review.
From up here, it looked like he had it, but they immediately ruled him short. Let's take another look.
It's hard to tell from that angle. There's Jackson Marshall coming up into the hole.
You see his knee come down, but looks like his upper body is in. But did the knee come down first? Not sure if this officiating crew is going to have a good enough angle to say this is a touchdown. Officiating crew today led by referee Matt Pekowski. But taking it back, Ryan, to the penalties. You just had the personal foul. You had the holding that took away a touchdown for Gardner Webb. Those are 2 big penalties that have really hurt them here to end the first half.
And in a game like this, when you're playing up, meaning FCS against FBS, you got to do just about everything right. And, you know, a couple very hurtful penalties through this first half. Also, when they stopped it, they're going to have reset the clock. Either way, we're going to hear right now from the official.
After review, the ruling on the field of the runner being short of the goal line is upheld. It'll be 2nd down. Please set the game clock to 31 seconds. The clock will start on my ready for play.
So the call is upheld. The time getting added back to the clock.
Timeout, Gardner Webb.
And Gardner Webb is going to use a timeout here.
It's be a 30-second timeout.
So 2nd and goal, ball is still on the 1-yard line for Ohio. And talk about the way the offense really settled in, especially in the second quarter. They only scored 3 points in the first quarter. So far, they've scored 21. They got an opportunity to add 7 more here.
And you always, if you're a defense, we look at Coach Reiser right there, you know, the momentum going into the locker room is going to be decided for the next 3 plays here, what that looks like. Because if somehow the running Bulldogs and Chris Reiser are able to hold Ohio to a field goal, it stays as a 1-score game. Ohio gets the ball coming out in the second half as well.
Ohio back up, lined up at the 1. Bangura, this time he is in. And the cannon is sound.
No need for replay on this touchdown by C.A. Bangura. This offensive line has played really well. And you see Cam Wright, the right guard, number 67, 5 yards in the end zone blocking his man. And that's exactly where Bangura ran.
2 rushing touchdowns on the day for C.A. Bangura. And it's a 10-point lead for the Bobcats. We're able to find the end zone before the halftime break. 28 seconds left on the clock.
On that drive, it beautifully executed 2-minute offense. They only needed about a minute and a half. But they did everything they needed. And while at times Gardner-Webb had them in what seemed to be precarious situations, Parker Navarro always found a way to make a big play. He had the nice pass up the sidelines to Dorwell, and then 2 big runs by himself to first time to get a big first down, and then the second one pushing the ball inside the 5-yard line. Parker Navarro putting a lot of aspects of his skill set on display during that 2-minute offense.
Back-to-back drives for a minute and a half. For Navarro in this offense. 28 seconds for the running Bulldogs to work with. 2 timeouts for each team. Dellenbach with the low kick, and this one's gonna roll into the end zone.
We'll see how aggressive Gardner-Webb wants to be. You got 28 seconds, 2 timeouts. You know, they certainly don't want to give the ball back. They don't want to. They want to be safe. Obviously, you don't want to throw an interception. But on first down, I look for them to try to drive the ball downfield, see if they can get a chunk play, or, well, they're going empty, so they're not going to hand it off. They got a 4-by-1, 4 receivers at the top, 1 at the bottom.
We'll see what Nate Hampton and his offense can do. Quick pass to Lowe on the outside. He's got some receivers to block for him, and he's got a first down.
They'll stop the clock so they can get the chain set.
22 seconds.
First and 10, Gardner-Webb.
Ball in their own 36. Clock started. Hampton pressured, flushed. Pass complete, and stepping out of bounds is Caleb Borders. 10 seconds left at the 45.
Nice job by Hampton, keeping his eyes downfield while the pass rush is coming. Borders puts the brakes on, and Hampton's able to find him.
Ten seconds to work with. 2 timeouts for Gardner-Webb. Hampton pressured by Hollenbaugh. He's going to have to throw this one away.
Pressure by Hollenbaugh.
Second and 10, 6 seconds left.
Coach Reisert said they need about 35-yard field goal is the range
Timeout. Gardner-Webb.
for field goal,
That's
but
the
they're
second and a
very
half.
far away
It's
from
gonna be a
that.
30-second timeout.
So you had an opportunity to be aggressive. That was the game plan coming in. We have seen Chris Reisert be very aggressive, also creative in this first half. Right from the first drive of the game, a fake punt. We've seen a couple trick plays by the offense. He knew he'd have to be both of those things, aggressive and creative, if he wants a chance of being this Ohio team.
Now correct myself, Charlie VRL, the kicker, is good if the ball's at the 35. So they're about 8 yards away from that. But the other half of that is there's only 6 seconds. Now they have a timeout, so I'm looking for a crossing, intermediate route to get the football, have the receiver go down, take the timeout, and bring out the field goal unit.
Well, can they do it in 6 seconds? Hampton, quick pass to his tight end, who gets out of bounds. 1 second left on the clock. That was Cole Schneider on the reception. And they'll bring out the kicking team. Well, Charlie Villarreal will line up with 1 second left on the clock. Trying to put an extra 3 on the board before halftime for Gardner-Webb.
Ohio's going to take a timeout, try to ice Villarreal.
Ohio. Personal hat. Just get 30-second timeout.
This is
30-second timeout.
This is no chip shot. A little over 53 yards for Charlie Villarreal.
He had 3 field goals in their last game in their win against Citadel. 23-13. They're 2-1 on the season. Their only loss was at Georgia Tech in week 2. This is his first attempt. From 40 yards and out. And it comes up just short. It was right on target, but came up just a few yards short. So it will remain a 10-point lead for Ohio at the halftime break. Gardner-Webb coming out strong here in Athens on this week 4 matchup. But Ohio responding with 28 points in the second quarter. They have a 10-point lead for Gardner-Webb at the halftime break.
My name is Pierre Kameni. I'm from Toronto, Ontario, Canada. I'm a senior at OU.
My name is Shedrick Rhodes. I play offensive line here at Ohio University. I'm a senior.
C.A. Bangura, senior, running back.
I was recruited by Coach D'Angelo Smith a lot in high school. Coach Hauser was also the defensive coordinator. He was the safeties coach at Miami, and he also recruited me out of high school. Spent 2 years here, entered the transfer portal in 2021. Then I went to Texas State, spent a year there. Went to junior college at Garden City after that. Then most recently was in University of New Mexico in Albuquerque. And then I'm finishing my last year here. So just very blessed and thankful.
What set Ohio apart for me was the effort that was put in my recruitment. Coach Rudolph was my original position coach when I came in 2020. I graduated high school in 2020. Throughout my recruitment process, he made it really personal. He came to my state championship game my senior year. He came to eat dinner with me a few times in my house. He came to watch me practice in high school. And those things, you know, going out of his way to come down and see me and make me know that I'm a priority to him. Those things made me feel really personable, that I could trust him, that I'd be taken care of on and off the field. And so I made that decision out of high school to come to Ohio.
I was a senior in high school, 2021. I remember getting recruited by Coach Albin. What stuck out to me was how excited Coach Albin was when recruiting me. Even before I got committed here, he talked to me almost every day, and it just felt right whenever I picked up the phone to call them and said that I'm ready to commit. My family loved it. 2022, I had a pretty great year, winning Freshman of the Year, rushing for 1,000 yards and more. And then I ended up transferring in 2024 to Minnesota University. I got in transfer portal again. I didn't know what I was gonna do. And then me and Coach Smith got on the phone and we talked about me coming back. It just made sense to come back to Ohio, continue to build what I already started here.
When I got into the transfer portal, I had got a lot of good looks from a lot of Power 4 programs. I ended up going to Rutgers out of the portal, and felt that was going to be home for me for my last year. That a place that I could go in, make an immediate impact, and get on the field and play, showcase my talents, and hopefully make it to the next level after that. Things obviously did not go as planned, but everything happens for a reason. And I decided that Rutgers was not the place that I needed to stay to spend my last year. Luckily, I had a redshirt year left because I never redshirted when I came here, and so I jumped back in the portal. When I got back in the portal, Ohio was probably one of the first teams to hit me. Coach Smith reached out to me, CA reached out to me, David Young reached out to me. Obviously I built up my rapport here, and those guys know how I work. They know who I am, what I bring to the table, and I think that's a testament to all the work that I put in. That those guys are immediately like, we want you back. Like, you're a piece that we need to make this team great. Go on another run like we wanted to for the past couple years.
The era of the transfer portal. When you go places, relationships aren't as long-term, they're more temporary. And I'll say just being at OU, ever since I left, I've had long-term relationships with coaches. No matter what, like, football was not always what I was judged on in relationships, and that was probably one of the main differences I realized.
The game is a tool that you can use to further your life and your life skills. Being able to play next to those guys and showcase that on the field is just it's a great feeling that these are guys that I've pretty much, my last 4 years of life, I've grown up with. And so those bonds are pretty special, things that you'll remember after college, after football is over. And I just want to say thank you to those guys for having trust in me, having faith and believing in me, and that I'll make y'all proud one day.
Lots of offense in the first half from Athens. It's a 31-21 lead for OU over Gardner-Webb. First FBS matchup here in week 4. We'll have highlights, stats, and (31-21) the score at halftime. Ohio with the lead over Gardner-Webb. Kelsey Casper and Ryan Kavanaugh with you as we take a look at the first half highlights. And man, were both of these offenses showing out.
We saw a lot of interesting plays. This Carson Grieshock from 48 yards out. This was one of 5 first half rushing touchdowns. And at this point, Gardner-Webb has given Ohio everything they can handle. They respond. Duncan Brune with a short touchdown run. C.A. Bangura with another short touchdown run, really tenderizing the middle of the defensive line. And of course, the running Bulldogs, they're not going anywhere. You got Quayshawn Holmes, 68-yard touchdown reception, most of it on the legs of Quayshawn Holmes. And that was sort of the story of the half, back and forth, continuing to go. Only 2 touchdown passes. This is the one from Parker Navarro to Hendricks, and ultimately another rushing touchdown by Bangura to put a capstone on that first half.
And it was the Bulldogs who jumped down to the 14-3 lead after the first quarter, but Ohio scoring 28 points in that second quarter. as they have the 10-point lead at halftime. Lots of numbers on that graphic, lots of offense. It's a 10-point lead for Ohio at the halftime break. (31-21), the lead for Ohio as we gear up for the second half here in Athens. And Ryan, if this second half is anything like we saw in the first half, man, we're in for a treat here in week 4.
Yeah, we have to cancel the dinner plans. 52 points in the first half. And Gardner-Webb came out here to fight. They didn't come to participate. They came here to win this football game, and a big part of it was Chris Reiser pulling all the tricks out of the bag. Now, I don't know how deep his bag of tricks are, but if it stays close, I expect Coach Reiser to continue to go to the well and do anything possible to try to escape Athens with a big victory.
They jumped down to a 14-3 lead. We saw him be aggressive early. We knew that was part of the game plan. They got a bye week next week. They are ready to come here and compete with Ohio. They said they wanted to generate big plays. They wanted to have big returns on special teams. We saw both of those in that first half for the Bulldogs. (28 points for Ohio in the second quarter, and they will receive here to start the second half. Gardner-Webb will kick it back. back to receive.
Ball through the end zone. It'll be first and
Is
10
Ohio,
on their own 25.
but they'll let that one run back through the end zone. Let's take a look at our two quarterbacks in this game. Nate Hampton for Gardner-Webb and Parker Navarro for Ohio. Both pretty efficient so far. Navarro with over 200 yards throwing in this game. 59 on the ground.
Both being very efficient with their passing as well. The only blemish would be that Nate Hampton interception.
That was on the opening drive. We saw a lot of this. Navarro to Hendricks. That connection still strong here in the second half for a first down.
Hendricks was a standout in that first half. That's the 9th target for Chase Hendricks, 7th catch. Parker Navarro knows where to go with the football to have success, and it's number 7.
Hendricks had 122 receiving yards in that first half. Tacks on a few more here. Gonna bring up 2nd and 7.
And Hendricks is in the slot. They're giving him a lot of cushion. And Parker Navarro is just letting Hendricks settle down, getting him the football right away. Might want to cover number 7.
2nd and 3 for Ohio.
Actually 2nd and 3 here. So gain of 7 on the play. It's Jake Bruno in motion. The handoff will go to Bandura. He's out past the 50-yard line for another Bobcat first down.
Made by Marshall. But after the game, that is another first down.
Bandura had 2 rushing touchdowns for Ohio in the first half. He came into this game 6 yards short of 2,000 career yards. He has certainly surpassed that milestone. Navarro is gonna air one out. Downfield, it is caught but out of bounds. That was Dom Duarte, redshirt freshman. We saw him with a 35-yard catch in the first half.
It's a heck of a catch by Duarte. Obviously feet are out of bounds, so it doesn't count, but excellent job to track the football over his head. And that's the 3rd time Navarro has taken a shot deep to number 19. Coach Smith talked about Duarte's electric speed, and they're putting it on display here.
They talked about wanting to get him a little bit more involved. Here's Bangura trying to get to the edge on the outside. Taken out at about the 42.
Knocked out of bounds by Bryce.
Bangura just had the stiff arm button on his controller stuck there as he just threw about 3 or 4 of them out at Running Bulldogs defenders. And really made something out of what appeared to be nothing on that run.
2nd and 3. Here's Bangura again. That defensive line from Gardner-Webb taking him down.
Bangura stopped by the right side of the line.
Crowley and Hicks up front were able to stonewall Bangura. And again, on 3rd and short, when you run it, it usually means you're going for it on 4th down. And Coach Brian Smith is leading his offense for the time being out on the field.
That'll bring up 4th and 2. First time Ohio's going for it on 4th down today. Navarro, quick pass, but overshot Hendricks. Pass goes incomplete, and Ohio turns it over on downs to start the second half.
And I think Navarro and Hendricks were not on the same page as Parker Navarro threw it. And then afterwards, his hands kind of, you know, went up in the air. Hendricks turned around, looked at him with his hands in the air. And both of them thought they were doing something a little different. But this ball was clearly underthrown or overthrown, depending on how you look at it. He was looking to throw a hitch, and Hendricks was running it out. And now, you mentioned the first time Ohio University went for it on 4th. They're 0 for 1. Gardner-Webb, 3 for 3 on 4th down in this game.
This offense has been aggressive. Quick pass. Hampton connects with Lofton, and another helmet is off on the field. I think we're up to like 4 helmets so far in this game.
Came off on the play.
That's Andrew
Just off for
3.
one play.
Starting left tackle. That's at least 3, maybe 4. Nice job by Nate Hampton, just getting a big gain on first down, 6 yards just by hitting the open receiver.
Hampton, the transfer from Liberty. Never really got an opportunity there, but he earned the starting gig at Gardner-Webb. Refs are calling it dead. That's Tank Pearson, though,
Moving the previous play.
running down the length of the field.
Was stopped.
He stopped short.
And that's Ahmad Carwise, who's down on the field for Gardner-Webb, and he came in because Andrew 3 went out because of his helmet, and now he's down on the field.
Well, we'll step aside here. 3rd and 6 coming up for Gardner-Webb. Third down coming up for Gardner-Webb, but let's go ahead and take a look at the last play. 2 things to look at. Ahmad Carwise injured on the play. He is now back in the tent, but also the ball popped out, but was Holmes down before it did? You see, there's Carwise, number 74. Came in for 1 play, and then the ball pops out.
Yeah, it looked like he was down. Another great play by Austin Mitchell on the defensive line. He's had quite an afternoon for the Bobcats.
That was Moyer in motion. A little shovel pass to Holmes, but the defense was all over it. Nehemiah Dukes.
Yeah, they try to let the defense get upfield and then put the shovel pass in. Dukes comes late as the second wave. And unfortunately for Quayshawn Holmes, that put Dukes right on his back as he caught the shovel pass. Punt team on the field.
Dukes, they call him Nemo. In for a big stop to force 4th down. That's Braun with the punt. And this one rolls inside the 5. Still a 10-point lead for Ohio here in the 3rd quarter in Athens.
College Football Playoff begins December 19th and concludes with the National Championship January 19th on ESPN.
Just over 10 minutes left in this third quarter. Ohio with a 31-21 lead over Gardner-Webb. This Ohio team, the reigning MAC champs. First time since 1968. They beat Miami 38-3. The MAC championship last year was the first time in program history. This team also reached 11 wins. Now back for another season under first-year head coach Brian Smith. Navarro on the offense set up shop on their own 15. Quick pass. Well covered, but caught by Rodney Harris.
Q Billingsley was all over the back of Rodney Harris. But like all good receivers do, Harris extends his arms, catches the football away from his body on the slant route, and is able to secure it for a short gain. Ohio's had a lot of success throwing the football in the second half, that short passing game.
226 passing yards and counting for Parker Navarro. And there's a flag. Pass caught by Duarte.
There is no foul for defensive holding on the play. Result of play is a catch for a first down.
So second reception of the afternoon for the redshirt freshman.
Parker Navarro, this is an RPO where he could give it, passes it. Nice job by Duarte to get inside leverage on the defensive back.
Navarro takes it himself, gets it right back to the line of scrimmage. It'll bring up second down.
Looked like Navarro was going to run option, but didn't have a pitch back, so just kept it himself. Nigel Lucas coming up in run support. Ohio showing a lot of patience here offensively. And of course, the clock is their friend, trying to wind it down with this lead.
Another faked handoff. This time he'll go to Bangura in the air. It's about 6 on the play. I'll bring up third down.
Initial hit, Jackson Marshall. Third down for Ohio, 5 to go.
4 to go for Navarro in the offense. Drops back, and another first down. Navarro connecting with Rodney Harris a little bit more here in the second half. Redshirt junior out of Cincinnati.
Parker was looking at him the whole way. Let's see if he gets his feet in, and he does. This short passing game is wide open right now for the Bobcats. And Parker Navarro's making the right reads. He's getting the football out on time, on target. And they're marching down the field.
And taking some time off the clock as well. Lateral to Bangura. Running Bulldogs, though, all over it. Jackson Marshall was in on the tackle. Lucas as well.
Antonio Berry, the defensive end, mixing it up a little bit with Mason Williams, the tight end. He felt like he got blocked in the back as Navarro pitched the football.
Gonna bring up 2nd and 10, and Ryan, you can really feel the pace of this game. Certainly has shifted since that exciting first half, where we saw 52 total points. Navarro gonna take it himself. Scrambles up the middle. Inside the 35. Dual threat QB showing off his legs. Oh, but a flag on the field. Back at the line of scrimmage.
This is just Parker Navarro creating on his own. Definitely not a design run. And a beautiful pickup for Parker Navarro, but will it come back?
After the play, unsportsmanlike conduct, offense number 55. 15-yard penalty will be added on to the, 15-yard penalty will be enforced from the end of the run. The first down. That's number 55's first unsportsmanlike conduct of the game.
Unsportsmanlike conduct going against the right tackle, Jordan Jones.
Yeah, this is Jones's first year as a starter. Just moved to the offensive line last year. But the coaches love his athleticism and how hard he plays. Perhaps that play played a little too hard. Cost his team 15 yards, but it's from the end of the play, so the Parker Navarro run and first down will be credited.
So the Bobcats still past midfield. Ball in the Bulldogs 49. Tight end in motion. Brune gets the handoff, and he is brought down. Kahari Haynes in on the tackle for Gardner Webb.
Speaking of Duncan Brune, Coach Izzy Ishfording, the offensive coordinator, was talking about him this week and says he's just an awesome kid. He says hi to everybody in the building. And over the summer in spring ball, for some unknown reason, he went to everybody on the team and learned their middle names just because.
Because learning everyone's names, not enough. He had to go the extra mile, learn the middle names as well.
That's right.
Hands off, fake to Brune. Hendricks wide open, but he's overthrown. That would have been another touchdown catch for Chase Hendricks. Instead, it's incomplete.
This is the second time that Parker Navarro has had a teammate wide open and overthrew him. But you see that route from Hendricks, break into the inside, gets the defensive back to move his shoulders, and then goes right past him. There was no help over the top, and it was Hendricks and the end zone if Navarro could have put the football on him.
So 3rd and long for OU. Navarro in trouble. And he is just swarmed by this defense. Antonio O'Berry trying to take him down. Tension's rising.
O'Berry is working on Shed Rhodes, the left tackle, and he gets a hold of him, and then Rhodes tries to get in the middle, and it just becomes a mess. But Antonio O'Berry is the one who wins that battle. Shed Rhodes, a left tackle, one of 3 Ohio Bobcats who started here, went to another college, and then came back. He was at Rutgers.
Pump back to Lowe, and he's dropped at the 10.
Media timeout.
Still a 10-point lead, just over 5 to go in the 3rd. Saturday, ESPN Plus has more games from the MAC at 1 p.m. Eastern. It's Eastern Michigan at Central Michigan. Then at 3:30, UConn at Buffalo, San Diego State at Northern Illinois, Akron at Toledo, Lindenwood at Miami, Ohio, and at 6:30, Rhode Island at Western Michigan. If you're a MAC fan, go to ESPNplus.com to sign up. Just over 5 minutes to go here in this third quarter. Gardner-Webb with the ball on their own 11-yard line. On the last drive, Ohio eating up a decent amount of time on the clock, just over a 5-minute drive. Couldn't capitalize on it. That was Griesbach on the carry. Bring up 2nd and 7.
2nd and 7, Gardner-Webb.
Nate Hampton still in at quarterback for the running Bulldogs. Flushed on the run and through the hands of Lowe, who's hit hard. Bounces right back up though.
Good coverage by Adonis Williams. Running with Lowe. And again, talking about the versatility of Williams, one of their best tacklers coming up in run support from the back half of the defense. And now you look at him, tough assignment, covering Lowe, crossing the field, and he's right on him.
So quickly, it's 3rd and 7. %50 on 3rd down today. Pressured, and Hampton just got to throw it away.
Hampton was trying to hit Cole Schneider on a middle screen to the tight end. No, it's Griesbach they're trying to throw it to. And unfortunately, when you try to set up the screen, the pressure, it's going to get to him, and that was Mikel Williams. But sometimes the pressure gets there before your guy turns around, and the quarterback just has to throw it. And that's what he did. Dangerous pass, though.
So 3 and out for this Gardner-Webb offense. Braun back to punt. Past midfield, there's a flag on the play. And past midfield on the return and taken out of bounds inside the 40-yard line. That was Tank Pearson on the return.
They're going to get a holding. Believe on Ohio.
During the kick, holding, return team, number 8. 10-yard penalty will be assessed from the end of the kick. 1st down.
You mentioned how long that drive, how long Ohio had the football for. And then Gardner-Webb gets it back and had one of the fastest 3 and outs we've seen all afternoon.
Had the ball for less than a minute.
And we'll see if Ohio and Coach Brian Smith go back to the patient offense. You mentioned the bowl game last year. That was Coach Smith's first win as the head coach at Ohio. So now he's at an even 2-2 in his career as the head man.
Served as the offensive coordinator and running back coach before becoming head coach in the final game last season. Here's Caleb Gossett for the 1st down reception. Gain of 15 on the play.
They're going back to what worked for them. There was a lot.
The previous play, we must sit out.
There was a lot of opportunity for Parker Navarro to get different receivers involved in this quick, short passing game, which oftentimes opens up the deep ball.
Here's Brune on the carry up the middle and brought down at the 40.
You know, we just talked about Brune as we're going to watch some of his handiwork here, but we talked, Kelsey, about how in spring ball he learned everybody's middle name, and as I sit here now, it was a missed opportunity. I feel like we should have learned his middle name.
Right?
Yeah, it's on me.
That should have been part of our research all week.
I know.
20 yards on the carry for Brune. Navarro with time, but not enough. Flags come in as he is taken down way behind the line of scrimmage.
And Nick Mariaro, the center, lost his helmet on that play.
Personal foul. Hands to the face. On the defense, number 90. Penalty for the previous five. Automatic first down.
And if he goes, and you see Marinaro coming back on the field, because you see he gets his helmet pushed off. That's the penalty. It's on the defense, and the helmet gets tossed into another Gardner-Webb defender. So while Marinaro lost his helmet, he can stay in because it came off because of the penalty.
We saw a couple costly penalties for Gardner-Webb at the end of the second quarter. Got a touchdown taken off the board because of it. Another one put Ohio in great field position. Here's Brune again on the carry. Just short of the first down marker.
This offensive line for Ohio is starting to wear down the defensive front of Gardner-Webb. These guys have done a really nice job.
42 yards on the day for Duncan Brune on 9 carries. Here's 2nd and 3. And the throw to his tight end, Mason Williams. And they're marking him short, out of bounds at the 1-yard line.
3 touchdowns on the season for Bruno and Williams, the 2 tight ends. They don't have a lot of catches, but when they get it, they oftentimes are taking the ball into the end zone. That's Shedrick Rhodes, the left tackle, who's down.
Quick to get up, but still limping off that right ankle.
Rhodes is 6'5", 299 pounds, and his future after football is going to be as a pharmacist. And if I had to pick up a script and that guy was there, I'd say, I'm going to do whatever you tell me.
Yeah.
And there he is on the left there, and what happens, and I'm surprised this doesn't happen more often, is a defensive lineman falls down. It happens behind Rhodes, and as he's stepping back, he gets tripped up. But Williams took it down to the 2-yard line where Ohio takes over with a fresh set of downs.
17-yard reception for Williams makes it 1st and goal as Brune looks for his 2nd score of the day.
Duncan Brune muscles his way into the end zone. This offensive line is starting to pour it on. They have stepped up their game, and they're imposing their will.
He got into the conversion attempt.
Second touchdown of the day for Duncan Brune, a 2nd touchdown of the season as OU takes a 38-21 lead over Gardner-Webb.
Look at the offensive line. Look at the push. You get Witherspoon, 51. You got Tigana Cisse in for Rhodes at left tackle. And they reestablish the line of scrimmage, meaning they're at the 2, and as soon as the ball is snapped, the green jerseys are in the end zone. The white jerseys of Gardner-Webb are on the other side, and Duncan Brune muscles his way into the end zone.
Well, I know Ohio fires the cannon when they score a touchdown, but also the cheerleading squad does push-ups in the end zone every time they score. I think they do 38 push-ups. Every time they score, they do the amount of push-ups, so they have been going to work in the end zone today.
They've got to have one of the most in-shape cheerleading staffs in all of football to do that, because it's, those push-ups are additive too. So, you know, they just did 31 the last time and now 38.
And look at this, first half compared to second so far, only 4 yards of total offense for Gardner-Webb after 327 in the first half. Well, they'll get the ball back here. Low calls for the fair catch.
It's hard as an offense to gain yards when you don't have the football. So that's graphic. While true, it also speaks to that Ohio has taken the football. They've held onto it with time of possession. It's very lopsided in the third quarter alone. And Gardner-Webb has not been able to get their offense going, but in large part it's hard to find a rhythm when you're not on the field.
Gardner-Webb has stuck with their starting quarterback, Nate Hampton. So far in every game, they've been rolling with two quarterbacks, Nate Hampton and Cole Pennington. Hampton overthrows his target, Quayshawn Holmes. 2nd and 10.
Michael Molnar from the linebacker position covered Holmes and had excellent coverage running up the sidelines with him. This is one of the best linebackers I've seen this season. Through 5 games, Molnar is very good against the run, and we just saw him. The ability to cover a running back out of the backfield man-to-man is an added bonus for a linebacker.
Molnar with pressure, it was incomplete. And there's Cole Pennington, the backup quarterback, who we have yet to see today, the redshirt junior, transfer from Marshall. In a competition for 8 months with Hampton throughout the spring, throughout the summer. The two of them, though, are best friends. Hampton and Pennington live in the same apartment complex, drive each other to practice, and that competition in the offseason made them better come game time here in the fall. Hampton, there's a flag on the field. Pass was caught by Lowe. It's a first down, but we'll see if this one stands.
Holding. Defense number 5. The penalties decline. Results in play, first down.
They've got Adonis Williams holding downfield. Obviously, they decline it. They take the first down.
Hampton's receiver fell down, Jabri Bevedale. 3rd down.
Jamar Mundy getting some run. Rotating in some defensive backs here are the Bobcats. Defense coordinator John Hauser doing a nice job with this unit. Gardner-Webb, it just feels like they're having trouble getting into a rhythm offensively.
Well, here's Holmes up the middle.
That'll help.
Good for about an 8-yard gain. And there's the defensive coordinator, John Hauser. Had a tall task this year. There's a linebacker room, the defensive line room. Pretty much depleted. There's the line right there.
That was a beautiful job up front by that defensive line. You know, Coach couldn't be happier about the production he's getting out of those guys. And linebackers, defensive front, they had a couple transfers come in and step up. They're playing at a very high level right now.
And there's a flag, though. Hampton's going to throw it to Beveneau. Falls incomplete. And lots of movement at the line of scrimmage.
Well, Crable and Lukeman, the two ends.
Offside. Defense, number 15. 5-yard penalty from the previous spot results in a first down.
Yeah, they're going to give it to Lukeman, but both he and Jay Crable were well offsides when the ball was snapped.
Well, Hauser said the biggest challenge for this group in those First 3 weeks was really the physicality. He thought they tackled well and limited the big plays, but wanted to limit those pre-snap penalties this week, what we just saw.
Yeah, and as defense coordinator, you hate to give him a fresh set of downs, give him the first down on a penalty.
Hampton looking for options and is going to have to throw this one away.
Good pressure from Nathan Hale chasing down Hampton. There just wasn't a receiver over there. You know, Hampton's rolling out to his right, and there just wasn't a receiver.
Trying to bring up 2nd and 10, 22 seconds left on the clock here in this third quarter. 38-21, Bobcats lead. Gardner-Webb has been unable to score here in the second half. Holmes on the carry. Taken down at about the 47.
You're not going to believe this, but you have another helmet off.
I should have kept track.
I know, Nemo Dukes. You'd have to, if you were just keeping track on a piece of paper, you'd be on page 2 by now.
So it's 3rd and 8 for this running Bulldogs offense. And that will wrap up the third quarter. 7 points scored by Ohio. They have a 38-21 lead over the running Bulldogs here in Athens, Ohio. Week 4 of college football. You're watching the MAC on ESPN+. But we have made it to the fourth quarter here in Athens. It is a 17-point lead for Ohio over Gardner-Webb. The Bobcats shut out the Bulldogs in the third quarter. But Gardner-Webb with the ball to start the fourth. It is 2nd and 10 on the Ohio 49. Looking to generate some sort of momentum here in the fourth quarter because Ohio really silenced Gardner-Webb coming out of the locker room at halftime.
It's been the best drive of the half thus far for running Bulldogs.
Hampton using his legs. Gets a few yards on the play.
It's going to be about a 4th and 3 coming up. And undoubtedly the offense is going to stay on the field and Coach Reisert's going to go for it.
Well, the first half, they were perfect on 4th downs. Converting on all 3 of them. Hampton will take a shot at his receiver downfield, and it's caught for a touchdown. Chris Lofton on 4th down with a 42-yard touchdown reception.
It's a perfect pass by Nate Hampton. Looks left, nothing there, and then just throws it up. Lofton well behind the defensive back, Jamar Mundy. And you see the excitement from Nate Hampton. Put the Bulldogs back on the board, showing the sign of life here.
And Bulldogs aren't done yet. Extra point is good. And Gardner-Webb cuts the deficit to 10. So after being held scoreless in the fourth quarter, they start the fourth with a touchdown reception. Hampton to Lofton for the score. There's a look at Gardner-Webb's quarterback, Nate Hampton. Just had the 42-yard pass to Chris Lofton to cap off the 10-play scoring drive, 75 yards downfield, 2:48 to end the third quarter and start the fourth quarter. and cut their deficit to just 10. There were 14 to go in the fourth quarter. All right, and it seemed after halftime, all the momentum was carried away with Ohio with some signs of life.
Gardner-Webb might be trying to get some more momentum back as Ohio actually put their hands team out there. Those two guys on the screen are the only two back, and everybody is preparing for an onside kick, which they're not going to get.
Looks like Tank Pearson forgot to take a knee there. Thought he had called for the fair catch. Talking with the referee, Matt Pikowski. So again, we'll get to see this Ohio offense and Parker Navarro, who has nearly 300 yards in the air today. 290 so far. He has been impressive in this matchup.
He's certainly making the case, or adding to the case he's already made as the best quarterback in the MAC. That will be decided as the season goes on, but this has been a good one for Parker Navarro.
And a good one for C.A. Bangura. Across midfield for the big run and a first down.
Excellent job again by this offensive line. Take a look at the blocking and the hole that it opens up for Bangura. Almost broke that.
24 yards for the fifth-year senior. They'll get the ball again for a short gain. Bring up second down and 7.
Jamari Young on the tackle, number 44 for Gardner-Webb. He was the conference defensive player of the week after their week 1 win over Western Carolina.
You see the offense has been humming.
Both teams.
Again on the ground. Bangura able to break a few tackles for another OU first down.
Bangura did a real nice job of keeping the legs moving. High knees running through tackles. Powerful running back is Bangura. I mentioned his pass protection earlier. That was an area where the coaching staff for the Bobcats really felt that he's improved. Another area is his vision running the football.
Both backs for Ohio have been stellar today. Bangura and Brune, each with 2 touchdowns.
What's unique about this tandem, too, there isn't a lot of drop-off, if any, when Duncan Brune comes in. But what I think is really unique about it, when you see a lot of teams, they have 2 different backs that they'll rotate in, and they bring something different. So you might have a more powerful in between the tackles, and then another back that comes in is right on cue. Duncan Brune comes in the game. But I think their skill sets are very similar. They have the very similar running styles, and what they're good at, they complement each other. So there's not a lot of drop-off, and that gives a little more familiarity to the offensive line in this offense because they're interchangeable in that sense. Coach Smith walking out on the field to take a timeout. There was something he didn't like.
Timeout, Ohio.
And we'll go to break with them. 2nd and 7 for this OU offense. 7-point lead for OU. They have it 2nd and 7. Ball on the Gardner-Webb 32. This Ohio team looking to even up their record. 1-2 right now. Lost at Rutgers by 3 to open up the season. And had a huge win against West Virginia at home, taking down the Mountaineers 17-10. And fell on the road to in-state opponent and #1 team in the nation, Ohio State, last week, 37-9. We talked about that tough schedule to start the year for the Bobcats. One of the toughest in the country.
There's always concern when you take a step back after playing 3 teams like that. How is your team going to respond? And I think thus far, the coaching staff has to be pleased with how they have responded.
Bangura on the run, inside the 10, and in the end zone for his 3rd of the day. "32 yards downfield, and Bangura has racked up 3 touchdowns.
Majority of that drive was work on the legs of C.A. Bangura, and again, look at the offensive line creating a massive hole for Bangura to run through. He saw the end zone, and he was not going to be denied.
Yeah, you said it. They were utilizing him the entire drive. 5 plays, 75 yards, 2 minutes and 41 seconds. For Ohio, who is now up 45-28 here in the 4th quarter. Sia Bangura celebrating, rightfully so. More push-ups for the Ohio cheerleaders as OU goes up 45-28 over Gardner-Webb. Thanks to a touchdown score for C.A. Bangura, who's a 5th-year running back, is having quite the career day so far. He has matched his career high for rushing touchdowns with 3 of them this afternoon. Last time he did it was against Akron back in 2022.
His running mate, Duncan Brune, also has set a career high for carries in a game with 10 in his rushing yards. This rushing attack for Ohio, I think those 2 guys should probably take this offensive line out to dinner.
They owe them after today. The 2 of them have combined for 166 yards on the ground.
There's a look at Bangura and surrounded by his offensive linemen.
First and 10, Gardner Webb from their own 25.
Those guys have to be itching to get back out on the field and continue putting up the numbers like this that Bangura has done today.
We'd mentioned C.A.'s story before the game. He started his career at Ohio, was the MAC Freshman of the Year, ended up transferring to Minnesota last season, but came back to Ohio. Lowe with the catch down the sideline. Did he keep his toes in? He did.
You know, Anthony Lowe is one of the guys that came over from Tiffin with Chris Reisert when he took the job. And my only question is, how did Tiffin get him? I mean, that's a Division II program, and they're very good. But this kid he's a very, very good wide receiver.
Lowe with 8 catches for 54 yards today. D2 All-American.
He's been very impressive thus far. A lot of the players that came in when Chris Reisert took over last year, there were about 70 players that left the program, some with the other coach, and he said, look, I had to fill my roster, and I had some good ones at Tiffin. He had a lot of success there with the Dragons, and it's translated.
Here's Carson Griesach on the carry. Gets a few yards on the play to bring up 3rd down.
Jalen Thomason playing the nickel. He was identified, singled out this week as someone who's been playing at a high level for the Bobcats defensively.
This is where Gardner Webb has struggled offensively today on 3rd down. Hampton flushed. He's going to try and take it himself, but he is swarmed.
There's Thomason again. Doing a nice job in the open field of not only getting his hands on Hampton, but bringing him down. Bring up a big time 4th and 3rd with the ball exactly at midfield.
And of course they're going to go for it. Takes the handoff, got a man downfield, and it is caught. Taken down inside the 15-yard line. That was Caleb Borders on the big reception.
Second time it was 4th and 3, and they took a shot deep. Borders, this is a difficult catch because of the hands that are in the way to try to distract him. It was also difficult because it was up and behind him. Full extension by Borders, and a beautiful catch to bring it in.
It's 1st and goal, Gardner Webb after the 43-yard catch from Borders.
You see the late player from the Bulldogs coming on, which means Ohio has time to run people out. And Coach Reisert then has to take a timeout.
Timeout. Gardner Webb. That's the first of the half. It's the 30-second timeout.
And you see the frustration because he may need that timeout. He had to burn it because there was a player late coming on. And then at that point, wisely, Ohio sent players out. And the officials have to hold the game to allow substitution from both teams. And there just wasn't enough time on the play clock. Reisert has to use one of his timeouts.
So 1st and goal, Gardner Webb. They were held scoreless in the 3rd quarter. Able to put up 7 so far here in the 4th. Looking to get this game back within an arm's reach here in the 4th quarter. Kind of build on some momentum, possibly heading into next week. They face Charleston Southern. Catch made by Cole Schneider. Taken down at the 6.
Nice play by Molnar in space. Snyder 6'4", 250. Both of those players, Molnar and Snyder, from the Cincinnati area, not too far from where we're at.
Holmes gets the carry. Still up. And he's in. Quayshawn Holmes able to muscle his way into the end zone for the score.
And Holmes looked like he got hit at the line of scrimmage. And I mentioned it earlier with Bangura and the leg drive. Watch the legs of Holmes continue to move, and that's how you break tackles. Great extra effort by Quayshawn Holmes.
Ruling on the previous play, the runner broke the goal line for a touchdown. That play's under review.
That play is under review, but if it stands, it'll be the second touchdown of the day for the graduate student, Quayshawn Holmes. Quayshawn Holmes, player who worked incredibly hard this offseason, and Coach Reisert said has really taken a jump this year, but still doesn't think he's reached his full potential just yet.
He credited a lot of that to the off-season work and continual improvement. And what they're looking at here is whether or not Holmes was down prior to getting the ball into the end zone.
After review, the ruling of the previous play of a touchdown is upheld.
The call's upheld. So it is a touchdown for Gardner Webb.
The Bulldogs refuse to go away.
Yeah, not giving up. We have now seen over 1,000 yards of total offense between these two teams.
That'll make the offensive coordinators happy. I don't know if I can say the same for the defenses. You never want to go back after giving up half of a century of yards.
And the extra point is good for Viorel. So for most of the second half, it has been a 10-point deficit for Gardner Webb. But a lot of this offense from Ohio can be credited to their veteran running back, C.A. Bangura. 3 touchdowns on the ground.
He's done a real nice job. I also like from his output, he knows when to get north and south. He knows when to just go get the yards. But so much of this has been due to the holes created by this offensive line. He's had massive holes, running space.
It's not just him. Also sophomore running back Duncan Brune. We had mentioned career high, 10 carries for 43 yards. And just found the end zone twice for the Bobcats this afternoon. Which is now turned into this evening for 3 hours in this FCS-FBS matchup.
Well, it takes some time to score all these points.
It does.
You know.
Ohio looking for their second home win of the season. They beat West Virginia in their home opener, an exciting one, 17-10 in front of a record-setting crowd of over 26,000 fans.
There's an onside kick.
Flag on the field as that one rolls out of bounds.
Kick out of bounds on the kickers, number 88. 5-yard penalty from the ball went out. 5-yard penalty from where the ball went out of bounds. First down.
So Ohio's going to start with the ball on the Gardner Webb 45. With under 8 to go here in the fourth quarter.
And it's going to be Duncan Brune coming in at running back behind Parker Navarro in the pistol. Sure, he's hoping to get another touchdown to tie up his running mate, C.A. Bangura.
There he gets his 10th carry of the game. But swallowed up by this defense. That was Javen Griffin. And on the tackle for the running Bulldogs.
Got a Bulldog down.
That's Jakari Bryson. One of the top linebackers on this Gardner-Webb defense. He's a player who had a season-ending injury a year ago. Already has, coming into this game, 19 tackles.
He's a player that Coach Reisert has high expectations for, knows the potential that he has. Gardner-Webb's going to get a break after this game to heal up some of the bumps and bruises with the bye week next week.
Speaking of their schedule, let's go ahead and take a look. We mentioned they got a bye next week before they host Charleston Southern, and they hit the road for Eastern Illinois. Face off against UT Martin Lindenwood and Tennessee Tech, beginning their Big South OVC Play of the Year. Well, it's 2nd and 7 for the Bobcats. Parker Navarro in this offense certainly letting the clock run down.
His eyes are fixed on the play clock in the end zone.
Under 7 minutes now. Brune has a hole and a first down.
Nice piece of running by Duncan Brune. And I think we're going to see, as the clock in the end zone reads 23, and I think we're going to watch Parker Navarro use up almost all of that before snapping this football.
And he uses every second here before handing off again to Brune. And Ohio's just been attacking the ground here in the second half.
You know, a lot of times when you have an FBS team playing an FCS team, it shows over the course of 4 quarters on the offensive and defensive lines. One of those things is depth. You know, more scholarships at the FBS level. You're rotating more people in where, you know, you don't have that level of depth on the defensive line for Gardner-Webb. So you've got these big bodies pushing them, and that gets tiring by the end of the game. And I think we're seeing the effects of that right now because Ohio is getting chunks every time they run the football, and there's another 7-yard gain for Duncan Brune.
And another first down. They continue to move the chains. They're getting chippy here.
Well, and Brune is down. Still at the bottom of the pile. There he goes.
With that game, that is another first down.
No flags on the play. See Brune on the carry.
Yeah, there's just some extra pushing and shoving. That's Antonio O'Barry, the defensive end. And there's some of the frustration when you're in this type of game and you can't stop the other team.
Brune to the outside, inside the 10. And it's a touchdown. 21 yards downfield for his 3rd score of the game.
That was an impressive run, cutting back across the field. But it all starts up front, and this offensive line has been tremendous. Take a look. We'll see if he gets inside the pylon. Oh, his knee is down. I think this is going to be overturned.
The previous play of a touchdown is under review.
Yeah, they're going to look at this one again. I think they're going to see pretty quickly. Brune had a knee down at the 1-yard line.
Yeah, pretty clearly right here is where his knee goes down. And that ball is going to be marked around the 1-yard line. I think that's pretty conclusive that he was not at the pylon. Although, admittedly, I have been wrong on replays many times.
And that's why you're up here. They're down there.
That's right. Up here, not reffing, not playing, not just up here.
After review, the runner's knee was down prior to breaking the goal line. It'll be 1st and goal at the 1-yard line.
So Brune was down just short of his 3rd touchdown of the game. Don't worry, he'll have another opportunity here at the 1-yard line. 1st and goal.
You know, I was just thinking if Coach Izzy was like, all right, CA, get in there. I'm just kidding. Go ahead, go ahead, Duncan. You can get your 3rd touchdown. I didn't want to count the points before, but the way this offensive line is getting a push and the way that Brune runs, I have a feeling you're going to hand him the football.
It's just another opportunity for Ohio to take some seconds off the clock, too. There's the handoff to Brune. And now he gets his 3rd touchdown of the game. Took a little longer than planned, but still, same outcome for the Bobcats.
Still counts. This has been an impressive showing by the Bobcats offense. 51 points, 52 potentially with the extra point. And they've done it both on the ground and through the air.
Here's Brack Peacock for the extra point. And it's good. And that cannon's working overtime here in Athens as Ohio takes a 52 lead, 35 lead for Gardner-Webb on the carry from Duncan Brune, getting his 3rd touchdown of the game.
Pretty good job by the defensive front. You saw Javin Griffin get into the backfield, but it wasn't enough to stop these 2 guys. Duncan Brune on that one specifically, excuse me. But over 200 yards combined. They have both run very, very well this afternoon.
A career day for both.
If I was in that cheerleading group, I would somehow be injured, and I'd be like, I would love to do 52 push-ups. I don't think I have it in me, and I would just stay on the sidelines.
Ryan would be holding his shoulder, limping off. Well, 4 minutes to play here. This week 4 matchup.
And the Bulldogs have not shown any quit. And in fact, every time in the second half that Ohio has gone down to score, they've answered. We'll see if they have another response in them.
They've scored 14 points in this 4th quarter. Knocked down at about the 19-yard line.
That's Quayshawn Holmes back deep. Looked like he ran into one of his own players, which knocked him down. another running Bulldog down. I believe it's Will Madison. Backup linebacker playing on special teams.
The Bulldogs have been pretty beat up today. We also saw an injury for Ohio. Max Rodarty, the wide receiver, got carted off in the first half. And after this, Ohio jumps right into MAC play, hosting Bowling Green next weekend, right here in Athens. Before hitting the road to face Ball State, then they will have their bye, which comes right in the middle of their schedule. Taking a look at their opponents: Northern Illinois, at Eastern Michigan, and a home game against Miami on November 4th.
That's a big matchup next week. Bowling Green's playing some good football. Eddie George has that team moving in the right direction, that program rather.
And it looks like we're going to get our first sight of Cole Pennington. He's appeared in every game so far as Gardner Webb plays both quarterbacks. And his first pass is dropped. Pass intended for Corey Jones, the redshirt freshman wide receiver, now in the game for Gardner Webb.
Yeah, and you see Jones shaking his head. It's a ball that he should catch.
That time they go on the ground to Moyer. That'll bring up third down. Just getting in some different players here late in this game. Couple opportunities.
That's the 7th carry on the season for Moyer. Now it's Gardner Webb who's using the play clock.
Pennington pressured, he was hit. Pass again intended for Jones, and that brings up fourth down.
Yeah, that's Charlie Christopher, the true freshman, coming off the edge. He's coming from the left side of Pennington, his blind side. And you're gonna see number 30 come around the edge. We talked to John Hauser about Charlie Christopher this week. Being a true freshman, you don't see that often in a program like Ohio where he's seeing the field, and he said that this guy's got a lot of potential and he understands our system as well as a freshman can.
And they're finally starting to build back a little depth that was lost in the offseason, especially in that linebacker group. And the fair catch for Hendricks. So under 3 to go here in Athens. Bobcats have built themselves a comfortable lead over Gardner Webb.
And it looks like Nick Polis is coming in to play quarterback, and Parker Navarro's excellent afternoon may be over.
Phenomenal day for the graduate quarterback, 18 of 27 with 290 passing yards, a touchdown. He also added 72 yards on the ground. So incredible day as Polis comes in as QB. Dorian Boylan gets his first carry of the night. Gains about 3 on the play. That'll bring up second down. Just the 3rd carry of the season for Dorian Boylan.
Now, Boylan's a transfer from Drake, and he played high school football with Drew Aller from Penn State.
Edina High School. Again on the ground. Boylan takes it to about the 40-yard line.
Boylan again, the ball carrier. Not by the core of the defense.
2 minutes left in this game. It's a 17-point lead for Ohio. Bobcats looking to hang on. Well, it has been an active game for this Ohio offense, but also for the Ohio cheerleading squad. Look at that number, 219 total push-ups today. Man, they have just been cranking it out in the field, thanks to 52 points on the board for the Bobcats.
I wonder how often they practice push-ups, you know?
Maybe we need to work on our form.
I think you're right.
Stay loose in the press box up here. As this has been a long one between Gardner-Webb and Ohio. 3rd and 5. Polis is going to take it himself. Out past the 50. He's got a first down.
Athletic play from Nick Polis.
Takes it to the 41-yard line on a 20-yard carry. Looks like he's gonna run this clock down even further. Boylan. Good solid run. Past the 30. First down.
Carrying defenders. Boylan, more of a power back. Very solidly built. 6 foot, 222 pounds. And you saw his ability to carry defenders on that run.
You see the strong offensive numbers for today. Ohio really starting to pull away. Towards the end of the second quarter, hung on through the second half, but got to give credit for the way that Gardner-Webb came to Athens and started this game. They were aggressive, they were creative. They had a 14-3 lead after the first quarter.
Yeah, I'm very impressed with Gardner-Webb. We'll see how they fare in conference as the season goes along. But they came here, they battled, they were resilient. They did not back down and they didn't give up. And if you're coach Chris Reiser, that is exactly what you're looking for from your team. And same could be said for Brian Smith. You know, we talked about at the top, there was potential for a letdown because of what they had gone through in their schedule and how well they played. We didn't see that this afternoon from Ohio.
And Ohio evens up their record at 2-2 and gets another win at home. Since 2022, the Bobcats are 19-1 here in Athens. And it was thanks to a huge offensive day from the Bobcats. Over 600 yards total from the Bobcats as they earned the 52-35 win over Gardner-Webb. So for Ryan Kavanaugh, I'm Kelsey Casper saying so long from Athens, Ohio, where Ohio gets the big win. All games airing on the ESPN networks are streaming live and archived on the ESPN app. This has been a presentation of ESPN.